So Brian Rose got slapped around like Tina Turner by Demetrius Andrade. Stopped in, was it 7 rounds? I think it was. I think it was 7 rounds. Dropped a couple of times. Lost every single round. Lost every minute of every round and got beaten up quite badly. And in the end, the referee stepped in right before Brian Rose's corner man was trying to step in and stop the fight. Very predictable. And most neutral boxing fans or most American boxing fans knew this was going to be a horrible one-sided beating, and that Brian Rose had literally no chance. But yeah, it always fascinates me when when fans think with their heart rather than with their head, because there was still a minority but a fairly sizable contingent of British boxing fans who I obviously saw on Facebook and whatnot, who seemed to believe that Brian Rose had some type of chance in this fight. And even apparently on YouTube there was a couple channels that were giving Brian Rose a chance. I can't for the life of me understand why. I mean, have you actually watched Brian Rose fight? No disrespect to the guy, but I mean, he was never going to be on Demetrius Andrade's level. And you know, it's not about trying to hope for the best and all this kind of stuff, because you know, you hoping that Brian Rose is going to do well is not going to help him do well. You know, I never look at boxing like that. I look at boxing as, I look at it from an analytical, scientific point of view. I try and break things down scientifically. I'm not really interested in who I want. Well, you know, I like certain fighters. I want certain fighters to win for whatever reason. But just because I want them to win, it don't mean I'm going to pick them to win. You get me? I'm going to keep it real and tell you this is who I think is going to win, regardless of whether I like the fighter or not. And you know, it always just fascinates me. It actually reminds me of you know, football when it comes to England and the World Cup. Every 4 years rolls around and England fans start getting gassed and thinking that this is our year, this is our year. It's like, haven't you realized over the past like 7, 8, 9, 8 decades, whatever it is, not 8 decades, that's a bit long. When was the last time that England won the World Cup? The 60s? Haven't you realized since the 60s that England can't do it at the top level on the world stage? I mean, come on now. So, you know, people have too much expectations sometimes, unrealistic expectations, and that was the case with a few of the Brian Rose fans out there. Obviously he's going to have his fans, he's going to have his supporters from his neck of the woods, Blackpool and whatnot, but the wider boxing public, the UK boxing fans, the YouTube community, the boxing community on Facebook, you really should know better, to be honest with you. You know, there's no way that you could look at Brian Rose and Demetrius Andrade from an analytical point of view and expect that Brian Rose had any realistic chance of winning this fight. It was a mismatch waiting to happen, people. As far as Demetrius Andrade, yeah, he did well against Brian Rose, but I mean, that was to be expected. He didn't do so well against Vanes Martirosyan. That was a tough fight. A lot of people felt Martirosyan actually won that fight. And going forward, there's a lot of people, talented fighters at the 154 weight division at the moment. You got Canelo Alvarez, you got Floyd Mayweather, you got Miguel Cotto, possibly if he drops back down, you got Erislandy Lara. There's a whole heap of guys down there. You got people like Carlos Molina. There's a whole heap of guys at that 154-pound division who are dangerous and who can get stuff done in the ring. So Demetrius Andrade he's got talent, but it's a stacked division right now. So we'll see how he does moving forward. Drop your comments below. Let me know how you felt about this fight. This is Hatman. I'm out.